I had no idea that this day was coming. One day I was fine, and the next I learned that I had stage 4 cancer. A little over 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. I visited my doctor after noticing a lump under my arm, and I received the initial news. Although I was shocked and a little bit scared, we had options to move forward, and my doctor was confident that I could be cancer-free with surgery or chemotherapy and radiation. However, I had no idea that something else was coming. My doctor had ordered additional tests, and one day when I was alone at home, at my daughter's house, I was keeping my grandson, I received a call from my surgeon about the test results. She sounded shocked on the phone when she told me that I had stage 4 cancer. The cancer was in my bones, throughout the entire trunk of my body, from my clavicle to my pelvis, in my ribs, and on my backbone. I had cancer spots all over. After I hung up the phone, I called my husband to try to tell him, and of course that's when I started crying. He hurried over, and he held me, and I just cried in his arms. And he was praying for me at the same time. We were both crying and praying. I soon learned that not only was I having to face what is normally expected to be a death sentence, but my daughters may have to go through the same thing. The gene that caused my cancer was passed on to both of my girls. I felt guilty knowing that they had a higher chance of suffering from breast cancer at a much younger age than me. My life immediately right after the news that I had stage 4 cancer was defined by fear. What was going to happen to me? Would I be able to see my grandchildren grow up? What is going to happen to my daughters? I could only cling to the hope that God was there for me. My husband and I claimed Romans 8:28, that somehow everything that God was allowing to happen to me was for my good. But at times, it was difficult to see that. I sought comfort in the prayers of others. I shared my diagnosis with others, and soon my church and even people I had never met began praying for me. As time went on, God slowly revealed himself to me. My bone pain disappeared. The lump under my arm receded so quickly after my treatment that my doctor even said he had no explanation but God. I learned that although this gene was passed on to my daughters, it wasn't passed on to my grandchildren, and they'll never face what I am going through. This journey has at times been difficult, but I'm so happy to say that as of last month, I am officially in remission. Whatever may come, if my circumstances change, God is in control. It may not always seem good what's happening to us, but He has the best plan for us, and we can trust Him. When we can't face the next day, when we receive the worst news of our lives, when we are scared and confused, God is still faithful.